If you're watching this video, that means that either you are interested to know more about Alberta, or you may be even planning to move to Alberta or Calgary to be specific. But the question is that is it too late now to move to Alberta? I did a poll on my YouTube community page and more than 50% of you answered that it is too late now and the ships have already sailed. But what's the reality and what's my opinion? Let's discuss in this video. My name is Nishant and now let's get started. There are many reasons that people want to move to Alberta, specifically Calgary, and the reasons are scenic beauty, close proximity to mountains, a good balance of a small town and a big city vibe, shorter commute times, especially compared to Toronto because it's crazy out there, and obviously affordable cost of living. That's the most common reason. And I'm sure that all of you would lie at least in one of these categories. But the irony is that the cost of living is increasing in Calgary too. People who have already moved to Alberta and have already got some time to get themselves settled in this new city or even make a home buying decision already are still better off. But I think some percentage of the people who would be moving now or in the near future might have this question later in their mind that did we make a right decision, because somehow I'm not able to see a big difference in my cost of living. And there is a reason for that. Do you know in the year 2022, there was a net migration of around 1,45,000 people in Alberta. And in the first quarter of 2023 itself, there has already been a net migration of over 50,000 people in Alberta. So based on these numbers, you can guess that in the year 2023, there could be a net migration of over 200,000 people. And for your information, net migration means people moving in minus the people moving out. And based on all these numbers, it has already been forecasted that there would be a 44% increase in Alberta's population in the next 20 years, and Alberta can surpass British Columbia in terms of population size. And obviously, population increase will have its impacts on various facets of our life. For example, it will have a positive impact on Alberta's economy as there will be more taxpayers. More taxpayers means more tax income. More tax income means more infrastructural development in Alberta. Also, more people moving in means more consumers for the businesses, which means businesses would be making more money, which again is positive for Alberta's economy. But all these positive impacts are for the economy and businesses in general. The only direct benefit for people, especially the newcomers who are moving in, is that there would be a lot of job creation. But the issue is that job creation doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. Until then, newcomers would face difficulty in securing a job because there would be too much competition for one single job. Hence, in my opinion, if you are moving to Alberta from outside of Canada as a new PR holder or an international student, then that's a different case because anyways, mostly you would be landing here without a job and you'll have to do your job search in Canada. But for the people who are making inter-provincial move, just like we did, I think you should move only if at least one of the family member has secured a job in Alberta or you have that flexibility to work from anywhere in Canada. Leaving your full-time job in Toronto or Vancouver just to move to Alberta and then doing your job search all over again would be a little too risky now. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, that is the cost of living. As I said in the beginning, most of the people want to move to Alberta for affordability. And the irony is that even Calgary is getting expensive month on month. And when I say cost of living, I'm primarily talking about the rental prices and the housing prices. Everyone is moving here with a dream of buying a house, a dream which is almost impossible to see in places like Toronto and Vancouver. And because everyone wants to buy a house, that increases the demand. But obviously the supply won't increase at that rate because building a house takes time. Again, this is something that doesn't happen overnight. And because of this disparity between the demand and supply, the prices are increasing rapidly. To give you the current number, so the benchmark price of a detached home in Calgary is now $685,000, which used to be around $550,000 just 1 to 2 years ago. The benchmark price of a semi-detached has crossed $600,000 mark. The townhouses have crossed the $400,000 mark, which earlier used to be in the low $300,000. And for the very first time in the history of Calgary, even the benchmark price of a condo building has crossed the $300,000 mark. These are the factual numbers, but even from our real life example, a threeplex, which is kind of a semi-detached that we saw in the month of March this year, that is just 4 months ago, at that time it was $499,000. But in the month of July, it is now $571,000, which is almost 15% increase in just 4 months. So the point is that people who were initially considering buying a detached house are now considering semi-detached. A semi-detached person is now looking at townhouses. A townhouse person is now looking at the condo. And for someone who thought that at least we can afford a decent sized condo in Calgary for less than $300,000, they are now being forced to stay in rentals. And talking about rentals, then the rent prices are even crazier as compared to the housing prices. Because there is no rent control in Alberta, so the landlords and the management companies are increasing the rent like anything and taking the advantage of this high demand. But this increasing demand is not the only reason for the increasing rental prices. After pandemic, the inflation started rising, and to bring it back to the normal levels, the Bank of Canada has been increasing the interest rates. In July also, they increased the interest rate by 25 basis points, and it was the 10th rate hike since March 2022. That is just in the last 1.5 years. And this increasing interest rate will eventually increase the mortgage rates as well. So in 2019 or around 2020 as well, the variable mortgage rates that used to be around 2 to 2.5% is now over 6%, which has doubled the mortgage payments for a lot of people. And obviously, the landlords will push this increasing mortgage payments towards the tenants by increasing their rent. So to give you an example, when we moved to Calgary last year in the month of October, we rented this apartment for $1,470 per month. But I know some people who moved earlier, like in the first quarter of 2022, they were still able to find some rentals at around $1,100 per month, that too in downtown Calgary. But fine, we thought that $1,470 is still way cheaper than Toronto. But now, because our lease would be ending in September end, so we got a notice from our building that our new rent starting the month of October 2023 would be $1,640 per month. That is around $170 more than what we pay right now. And that too if we sign a long-term lease again. But if we choose the option of month-on-month lease, then our rent would be $1,830 per month, which is almost $400 more than what we pay right now. That is almost 25 to 30% increase per month, and that's crazy. Salaries do not increase at such a high rate in Canada for sure. Hence, a lot of people are having this fear that the rents would keep on increasing at such a high rate and eventually we won't be able to afford it. So it's better that we buy a house now. So what's happening is that even the people who are actually planning to rent for another year or two, they are also in the market looking to buy a house. Hence, increasing the demand and eventually increasing the housing prices even further. Another reason that people move to Calgary, Alberta is for the shorter commute times, but obviously with the population increase, the commute times will get longer, and we are already seeing some difference as compared to 2021 when we came here just for the vacation purpose. But yeah, I would say like at present the situation is still not that bad. From any corner of Calgary you can reach downtown in less than 30 or even less than 25 minutes, which is amazing considering that the Calgary's land size is 825 kilometers square, which is much bigger than Toronto, much bigger than Vancouver or even Montreal. I know that a lot of people are not aware, even I wasn't aware that Calgary is bigger than any other major city in terms of land size. Anyways, to answer the question, is it too late now to move to Alberta or Calgary specifically? I think maybe a little. Maybe if you would have moved a year or two ago, you would have been better off. But I still think that it's still not too late. If you want to move to Calgary, then make a quick decision because Calgary is becoming the new Toronto. But quick decision doesn't mean a hasty decision. Consider all the factors and make a wise decision for yourself. So if you like this video, then please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more such content. I'll see you in our next video. Till then, take care and stay safe.